Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, good evening and salutations, my. Will Xander and Gabby be the next super couple on Days of Our Lives? Now, as always, you know how we do. We sit there and talk about all the shows. You know exactly what they are. Let's sit there and get in the roll call. Let's get this started. Also, okay, let's do that first. Freddie's in the chat. How you doing? How have you been, Freddie? It's good to see you again. Allison's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ's in the chat. How are you doing tonight? Allison says hi to everyone. You probably won't be able to see it unless you literally change the see all chats. You got to hit the gear button. Then you have to hit chat filter, and then it will sit there and give you the option and go from there. Queen of the South, how are you doing tonight, Queen? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Good to see you. I'm good, Allison. I survived. I survived work. And that was something. Susan R's in the chat. Oh wow, I had way more than I thought. Jesus Christ. Crystal's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Wow. 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 Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna drink all this. But Jesus Christ. Mm. Oh my God. Mm. Black Mine. No, I had to wake up super early. I had to wake up at like 3:45 in the morning. What's good, Sean? I had to wake up at 3:45 in the morning. So it is one. It's really good. Um yeah, it's definitely an early day. Um I mean I get out early, but it's you gotta wake up early and that's the tough part. Freddie says, I'm well, Albert. I just spending time with my family and busy with school, so you might not always see me in the chat, but other than that, life has been great. Okay, that's good. Eagle! Still thinks Drew saved her, and as Brock's really always remind us of history, he did not do any saving, or at all sociopaths like Willow mix up fantasies in her head. I hope Michael please next. Sean says, I go back Monday after being off all week. Okay, so you had a good weekend. Okay. You had a good week, and that's good. Allison says, good. It's not hard alcohol. Yeah, I'm off 3 weeks now since I work at school. Eagle says, and what's good, Francis? Eagle said, I knew you were on live. I did not see your name. I assumed it was just like Jason knew it was Brit at the airport without even looking. Yes. That's I like how you pointed out. I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it, to be fair, he did help. Was good, Susan. He did help. He did actually get Liesel back to Port Charles, so he did do that. He did. Um, he wasn't the only one that helped that mission. Was good, Amber. He wasn't the only one that helped that mission. But let's not sit there and you know act like he didn't do anything. If we're going to be honest, just saying. But yeah, as I always sit there and start and say these chats, what's good, Sean? As I always sit there and state these chats, um, there is 17 people in this chat. There is one of me. I am not going to get to every single comment, so you know, just understand that, and I'll get to you at some point, like I will the other 18 people in the chat, but you know. Ask me the same question 3 times in a row. So yeah, please don't do that. Francis is Albert. It was good to see Tristan today after knowing his diagnosis. He looks really bad. Yeah, like I said, it was really hard to sit there and see him today. Um, it was yeah, it was just hard to see him today. Mm. But yeah, Eagle, if you're still in the chat, yeah, that actress that's playing Sophia, it's bad. It's bad. And you are 100% correct. You was there saying that she was acting like she was 13 years old being pregnant instead of a 18, 19-year-old, nearly adult, young adult being pregnant. So it's like, honestly, tell you the truth, Eagle, you were on point when you said that. It's so it's just, and like I said, you saw how I did the video. It was just like, so I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of confused if she's if I should sit there and do this and that. I mean, I'm just I'm like, girl. And again, Eagle, let me tell you something. Do you understand what the actress that plays Melinda must feel like after she's done with a scene? She's literally probably snipped to be like, yo, listen, I mean, she's a sweet girl and everything like that, but like, I can only imagine just how difficult it is to get through those scenes for her. I feel bad. Listen, I feel bad for any person that's doing a scene with her. She's being written poorly, to be fair to her. Yeah, I mean, she's being written poorly, but like, that acting is not there, though. You know, that acting is not there. And yeah, in a sense, it's like they must be thinking, "Get me away from this girl." Yeah, like if you ever watch my members video called "Spilling the Tea," let's just sit there and say that working with other actors that aren't necessarily producing good will drive the other person up a wall. Yeah, Sean, I saw the previews. I saw the previews. I The character was a bust, if we're gonna be honest, and it's unfortunate. It's like it's really just unfortunate. I'm trying not to put the full blame. I mean, she's playing a recast and all, but Sophia is better off leaving town. Her mom can stay. Yeah, and trust me, no, I get that. I get that because yeah, there is writing, there is directing, um, and so it is a little bit more than just. And you're right. You're right. How they direct the character and how they tell them how they're supposed to be acting, because in all reality, even her personality shifted. I gotta go. Okay, Allison. I hope I get to see you tonight. It was good, Big Nate. But yeah, even her personality shifted. Even her personality shifted. Like that's not on the actress. That's on the writing. I feel nothing when she was upset. Oh, you're talking about the actress that plays Gabby. Yeah. Um. Um. But yeah, yeah. It's bad. It's bad. Let's be honest. It's bad. But yeah, did y'all see the previews for Days? Did anyone see the previews for Days? Oh, also, like I said, it looks like Xander and Gabby may want to be in the thing. Um, Especially the way that he was being like very nice and compassionate to her and everything like that. And I know he's gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, I still miss Sarah," which I'm just like, why? 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 Every time two people that can't control their anger being a couple, yeah, I know. Um, but at the very least, at least she would understand where he's coming from, and she wouldn't sit there and try to tame him. That that has always been Sarah's flaw, is that they're trying to um control Xander and calm him down and everything like that. Gorgeous Queen Janet, how are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. When you said what was the point of Kai's character being created? He was this football star to now becoming Drew, aka Shiloh's victim, telling on Curtis and Portia without knowing all the facts. But see, that's the thing, though. You just said it right there. Okay, so I've been Smith just saying this all week, and we can clearly agree to disagree. But one, okay, I don't feel that he is Drew's victim. Um, but what I will sit there and say is he didn't know all the facts. But what he knew, he followed his heart and he followed his gut. Okay, from his perspective, Drew has been nothing but kind to him. And he knew what Curtis was going to do, which was, set up somebody on something that he didn't do, and hurting Willow and hurting Scout. He couldn't do that. He couldn't sit by knowing that he was going to get an ambush and not do anything about it, not even sit there and try to fix it or anything. That would have been out of pocket for him. And yeah, I get it. He betrayed Trina's trust, and that's not cool. But he had to make a choice. He had to make a very hard choice, and it was literally a no-win situation. So yeah, y'all saw that smile today, right? Liesel peeped that. Liesel peeped the shit out of that. Liesel was like, "Yo, listen, there's something wrong with your daughter." Like straight up, there's something wrong with your daughter. She ain't all there. Sean says Nina is silly. Drew was never going to love a person who sent him to jail. Yeah, but she was never looking for love from him. This was never about love. It was about lust. So I don't understand, Sean. I mean, are you trolling me or like, but yeah, yeah, but the thing is though, at least she's not boring. Remember people, there was a point where Willow was born when she was with Michael, and everyone sat there and complained, "Oh my God, she's so boring. What is she doing on TV? What is she doing on my screen? I liked her better when she was with Chase." Now she's just boring. She doesn't do anything. She just takes up time, air, and space. Now she's actually doing something, right? I mean, I get it. She's doing stuff that people don't like, but at least she's still doing something. I always like seem to underestimate my final porn. I'm not gonna lie, she did kind of seem like she was mixing a little bit of words with Britt though when she was talking to Rocco. And on one hand, she was there saying that she did hold her daughter's feet to the fire. But then the next minute, she's there saying to everybody else, "Oh well, everybody, when it came towards Britt, everybody was very small-minded. People are small-minded. They just didn't sit there and forget, and some people weren't willing to forgive what Britt did." So, but I mean, he wasn't a developed character though. Kai was not the developed character. We haven't seen his parents. His parents wasn't there one time. His parents wasn't there for his goddamn surgery. Like this is insane. Black Mom says I was the one that said she was born, but I like Willow. I like I like Willow's noun person. Whoa, okay. All right, I gotta highlight that. Black Mom said I was the one that said she was born, but I like Willow now personally. Gotta highlight that. Gotta highlight that. You know, here's the thing, Sean. Let's see if she actually follows through what she said. Exactly, Freddie. That's you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I know people sat there and they complained that Willow was boring. So now they didn't make her boring. Yeah, but that's what I'm Smith is saying. Is like at least she's not boring. And before she was like, oh my god, she's super boring. So it's like she ain't boring anymore. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing she ain't boring. Monique. Monique says, Willow, if there is a reason why he is being cruel and vindictive, take a look in the mirror. And my whole thing is like, I said this in my review. I was like, Michael didn't change. You changed. Actually, Eagle, listen, okay. I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I actually thought that her and Bond actually really made a good tag team today. You know, Bond distracted the girl. Jocelyn was able to sit there and put the whatever the spy thing was on her. So no, I feel like people are gonna have their opinions, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But like, I actually thought that her and what you call it were actually good. Um, I like their tag team and their coordination of how they were able to sit there and plant that bug on her. I thought that was actually pretty cool. But like with me, you can't please everyone. Now, Janice says the Liam ending was bad. No more Sasha for now, unless recast. Yeah, Jenny, yeah, the miracle cure, the 11th hour crap that they pulled with Liam. Um, this is Janet. This is the reason why people don't really invest in B&B. They'll watch it, right? They'll watch it, but they won't really invest in it because they know the outcome. They know how this stuff is gonna happen. Like this whole wedding with Taylor and Reg. We all know it's not gonna last because they've been doing this since the dawn of time, right? You have Nick Maroney that's going to sit there and fuel this whole thing by making him jealous, right? Um, and that's going to make Rich jealous. That's going to make Taylor pull away, and somehow by like 2 months, you're gonna get those two back together. You're gonna get those two back together. That's what's gonna wind up happening. Freddie said Albert Cameron, aka Jew, is the crazy SOB, but Cameron playing the hell out of the character. He's doing his job right because I can't stand the character as yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. Yes, if the character is making you feel something, no matter good or bad, even if it's bad, even if you hate him and everything like that, that means that he is doing his job. That means that man, and what you call it, Willow are earning their paycheck. right? I mean, listen, I saw the previews for days. I don't know. Most likely, the way they sat there and said it, they practically confirmed that Doug is leaving the show, right? So clearly, he either didn't resonate with the audience. Um, yeah, Freddie, he didn't resonate with the audience. It felt like he just wasn't long-term material for the show, and it almost seemed like it was pointless to even bring him in if that was the case. What was the point of bringing him in if they just gonna? What's the point of that? Like, honestly, to tell you the truth, ever since I started watching, when I was watching on Peacock, they brought characters in just to let them go, and it just seemed like it was a waste in a sense. Or maybe they served a little bit of a purpose, and then they were just gone. Ego says she might be too old, but how would you feel about the actress that plays Luna replacing Sophia? Nah. Well, oh, hold on. It's hard to say because I'm used to her being Luna. Like this is one of the problems when you watch all five soap operas. You're used to seeing them as one character. I will sit there and say she would play the character better. She would play the character better. I will say that much. Oh yeah, I saw a little bit of it Black Line. I don't know if I have the time to sit there and watch the whole video, but like I did see a little bit of it though. Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, 21 people in the chat. Hit the like button. We got 12 likes. Okay, now we got 13 since I cheated. Yeah, I believe in Black Monk. I believe you. Michael, he knows how to do some really good. Yes, I did. And I'm gonna be honest. I mean, isn't that the dude from The Boys and Star Trek? What's his name? Curl or Car Uber or something like that? Being Johnny Cage. I don't know about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, the fight scenes and everything like that, it looked like it's definitely gonna be a good movie. I will see that in the theaters, but like him being Johnny Cage, I don't know. I mean, the martial arts look really great, but oh no, I get it, Ego. Now I'm definitely gonna watch it. I just what's good, Lashanta. It's gonna take me a minute to get used to him being Johnny Cage. I'm gonna have to see the movie for it to kind of change my mind because I'm not. Oh, okay. No, I've seen him in other stuff. Oh yeah, Red. Okay. Oh, okay, Blackmore. Yeah, if I get some time, I will. Yeah, it's funny too. I was thinking about Alan Locker. That's actually funny, Eagle. And what's good, Lachanta? I was actually thinking about Alan Locker because I always sit there and think about the two people that generally get these stars the most, and that is Alan Locker and Michael Furman. Monique says Liesel even said Michael stood by her side when she got sick, but gave Drew all the credit. He didn't do anything but stand there when he's coked up eyes. Yes, Eagle. Listen, I like James Gunn. Um, I didn't like the decision that he made with that movie, that particular part. Uh, but yes, I think he'll do a lot better, Eagle. I have a feeling like they're going to kind of make up for that a little bit. Sean says, "Abba, do you think Beyond the Gates is getting worse?" No, actually, it's getting better in a sense. It's actually getting better. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still like not among my top favorite soap operas at all. But it's for its own standards, like its own bar. It's definitely getting a lot better. I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone to sit there and watch Beyond the Gates before General Hospital or Days of Our Lives. Hell, even Young and the Restless. That's a good question, Sean. I gotta sit there and look at my phone when I get a chance to look at it. Because somebody said it, and I don't exactly remember when it was. Freddie says, so Albert, the new I Know What You Did Last Time movie came out today. I was thinking about watching it. Were you planning on seeing it? No, I kind of stopped watching those movies after the first one. Yeah. Oh, it's October. Yes, it's October. Yeah, I started watching after the first one. I was never super huge into it, so yeah. What's good, Double C? Sean, listen, let me tell you something. Sean is standing 10 toes down on hoping that Nancy Lee Grahn does not win shit at that Emmys. What's good, Krista? What's good, Krista Ramirez? How are you doing tonight? Sean is standing 10 toes down because Nancy Lee Grahn acts like an asshole at times. Sean says, "I'm not moving." Exactly, and listen, I get it. I'm not going to sit here and try to defend her because she's has said some shitty things. So I get it. Trust me, I do. I know. And Rihanna, how you doing tonight? How are you doing? It's so good to see you. You got a goddamn CEO cheating on his wife by bringing his mistress to a goddamn Coldplay concert. Yo, people be bugging. People be straight up bugging. Hard bottom. Aaron says I'm good. I wanted to check in and see how it is. Yeah, we talk about the soaps and that craziness. Sean said that was in Fairbox Net. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm like, seriously. Okay, I'm not gonna sit you and try to deviate, but I'm just like, did they not sit there and think that anybody at that office might have also been a Coldplay fan, like Bob from accounting or something? Like, my lord. Oh, Patriots play there. Okay. I'm like, god damn, could have had Bob the plumber there. I mean, like, come on, Sean. I'm like, you sit there trying to. Susan says, "LOL, Albert." Their faces when they got caught. Yo, did you see how that? Yo, the dude seriously. You don't know who could have been there. Yo, the girl. ducked. She ducked like she was hiding. Like, girl, you've been caught in 4K. Like, how you take? Okay, how you sneak there taking your mistress out on a date? What? 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 When did we start doing that? I mean, I don't approve cheating, obviously, but you don't take mistress out on dates. Like, you don't. Fuck you doing? Double C says, I think the storyline with Britt or whoever is connected with Vaughn and Josh story. Freddie says Albert Johnson is caught already by Anna and Dante. Just wait till Carly finds out about her daughter being a WSB agent because of the man she is sleeping with. Carly is going to be furious with Jack. Yeah, she will. She'll do her usual whining and yelling and screaming and blah, 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 blah. Krista says, I can still remember watching Judy's courtroom scenes. Drama is the best. But yeah, I'm down. Ariana says duck duck down and she covered her face like no one would see. Yo, here's the thing, she knew she was caught. She was embarrassed as hell. And you know what's really messed up? The dude from Coldplay was like, either they're cheating or I'm like, bro, why do you do that to them? I mean, he literally sat there like the dude from Coldplay was like, either they're having an affair or bro, like, that wasn't even necessary to say. It really was not necessary to say. I'm not gonna lie, he made that shit like 1,000 times worse. Like it was already bad. He made it worse. He made that shit worse. It's like you watch one Cobra Kai scene and then they just start. Sean says she will be lucky to have a job anymore. That's why I don't understand. Like, okay, yeah, what they did was immoral, but like, I don't know if it's illegal. Ariana says Chris put them on worldwide blast. Yes, yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch Inside Edition, but yeah, I think that's the person that put their business out there. I mean, to be fair, they kind of put their own business out there. Like y'all cheat and you decide you want to sit there and have date night, go to a goddamn concert with a bunch of people and just what hope that nobody's going to see you. Bro, you're a goddamn CEO. Like I cannot get past that level of stupidity. Not that I condone cheating. I'm just saying, like, yeah, how you doing? Sean says we know how she got out. Yeah, Becky from accounting. Susan says, Albert, they were in public. Yeah, you sit there, you taking the mistress out on dates. Bro, you cheating on your wife. You take her out on a date? Like, what you doing, bro? Who does that? Ariana says, play a stupid game, get stupid prizes. Yep. Hard body. Mm, mm, mm. Susan says, plus, with everyone having a phone. It just took one, it would just take one person from that office. Just take one person from that office. I just don't know if they can lose their jobs. I think that's why I'm a little confused. I mean, yeah, they. shitty people, but like I don't know if that's necessarily violating any sort of rules or anything. That's the kicker. Oh, my family gonna find out. Will he? Well, he's the boss. Yes, but that's what I'm sitting there saying. Like, is it a violation? Like, okay. There's a fine line between being a bad look and an actual violation. You know, he's the CEO of his company. Yeah, Jenna said they figured they could say it was a work event if asked casually. You know, seemed like he may need your PR skills. Yeah, like Ariana said, he's the CEO of a company. Like, who won't fire him? Like, seriously, he practically owns that goddamn company besides the shareholders. Well, you're fired. We're giving you a pink slip. The hell you're not. Goddamn CEO. What the hell you gonna do? Yeah, like they were dating. I wonder, I wonder what excuse they gave their spouses to be out that night. Oh, oof. Like, god damn, bro. You out here slipping. Mm-mm-mm. Sean says divorce court. I mean, I know this has nothing to do with the soap, but it's kind of soapy. It is. Um, people do cheat a lot of times in soaps. I do wonder if Portia's actually going to turn herself in. I do. I wonder if Portia's actually going to turn herself in, or is she going to sit there and doctor those test results and sit there and make Michael look like he's been is hella soapy. I mean, cheating in a relationship, in a marriage. All I saw is this chick sit there and changed her last name on Facebook. That's all we saw the wife do. Well, the wife is definitely going to be sitting there trying to get as much money from that man as possible. Like it's already bad. It's already bad to be cheated. Half of America saw you. Like one third of America actually saw you be cheated on. In the worst and well, the most hilarious way possible. Jenna says juicy real life. Yeah, it's a soap. It's a soap. It's dealing with relationships and cheating and a CEO. Ariana says she got it all from this man. Oh yeah, no, she going she listen. If she finds the right lawyer, she going to clean that man dry. And I don't feel bad for him. I don't. Not because cheating is wrong, but like you were hella stupid about that. How are you thinking? Judy Light played in some good Lifetime movies back in the 90s. Ooh, the 90s and Lifetime movies. Ooh, is that where they always made the man seem like the you know human toilet seat pretty much? I don't know. I just remember like the 90s Lifetime movies where the man was always like the horrible person in whatever movies they were in. Happy Friday, Tracy. Ariana says she already changed her Facebook status and it took their photos down. Yes, I saw that. And I'm like, I don't know, I think that's probably just a psychological thing if we're gonna be honest. I mean, I feel bad for the wife, if we're gonna be honest. I do, you know? That sucks. That sucks. You know, getting cheated on, that sucks. So actually, Sean, that's I don't know about the Lifetime movies now, but I remember back in the '90s, it was like the man was always like abusive and physically abusive and emotionally abusive. Um, he was always the bad guy in whatever story that Lifetime was meant to tell him. Sure, this is 100% true. Aaron says she's making the moves to get it all, as she should. Susan says, if I was the wife, I would take all my social media down. Oh, yeah. Now you have to because you know that they're going to sit. I mean, yeah, just to be constantly reminded of that. But I do feel like I do feel like most people would sit there and be sympathetic towards her, you know? I mean, to be fair, and it's still no excuse to cheat, but we don't know what's going on in that relationship, right? Like, yeah, maybe the dude was just a scumbag. And, granted, while there's no excuse that would sit there and justify cheating, we don't know what she did to actually push this man to cheating or push this man to a point where he felt like he needed to get comfort outside of his marriage. That's the thing. We have no idea. Not that it, like, not that it justifies cheating, because it doesn't. Cheating is still bad. But Aaron says, I looked up his net worth and his hammer time. Oh yeah, no, listen. You embarrassed that woman in front of millions and millions of people. Okay? Because millions of people actually saw that shit. Her family saw that. Her brothers, her sisters. I don't know if they got kids. Hopefully they don't, because they probably saw that. Like, it always weirds me out. I mean, it's a little weird when I have people I know watch my videos. I can imagine being cheated on in front of the whole goddamn world, having all my business out there on Front Street because they decided to go to a goddamn Coldplay concert. Freddie said, I doubt if Emma plan with Gio will work to use the key to break into Dalton's secret lab about his criminal history. I'm not all that interested about it, but I continue to watch and see what happens. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what that's the thing though. When you watch, seriously, Coldplay, like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay. It's going to be a brief, black screen, and then since I'm switching, because after I did my reaction video, I didn't get a chance to, charge my laptop right away, and it took a hot minute. So, there we go. Hopefully it's Why is my Oprah sitting? Why is my secret? Okay, we're good. Yeah, I was trying to make it as seamless as possible. Aaron says that all looks familiar. I was just like, what the hell is my seat right for? Okay. But yeah, and here's the thing though. Like, I guess like I'm probably one of the very few people that do like I mean, maybe I do have to clean. I do have to clean up the camera. But like this, surprisingly, this phone is actually really good for streaming. When I can't use my laptop when I'm charging my laptop, this one is actually pretty. Did anyone watch Young and Restless? By the way, just very curious if anyone actually watched Young and Restless. I mean, I got my GH fans out here tonight, so we'll definitely still talk about GH, but I'm just kind of curious about that. Where was my cartoon music at? Susan says I watched Wine On today. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing. I like Nick, but Nick was getting on my goddamn nerves though. Like Nick was getting on my damn nerves, right? I'm like, bro, Lily was getting on my nerves yesterday. Nick was getting on my nerves today. Audra and Kyle are both trash, right? And you know what's really sad? You know what Audra did today? Nick was so paranoid and delusional. He was like he was like Lily. Like they were sure as hell that Kane did it. You don't need to do anything because Kane did it. I know Kane did it because he did it. Oh, well, I guess Chance doesn't need to be here. By the way, I saw today I saw the previews, right? And now you have Kane's that they're getting a bodyguard being like, hey, listen, you need to be on a house arrest for everyone's safety. What the hell was your bodyguard before? where where was your bodyguard before? Where was he before? If you knew that somebody was going to coming at you, all he said today was, well, I didn't think somebody was going to sit there and do it in public, with so many people. Then, if that was the case, then why did you bring Chance? Like, here's my issue with like this show and B&B. It have such half-ass storylines that like it is. I don't want these soap operas to go, but it is amazing that they're still on the air. He says no, Gabby and Philip will be a couple eventually. Gabby and Philip. Hmm, okay. See how that will work out. Susan says like, yo, I mean, listen, she was on that basement they crying for Damien like that dude was the love of her life. I'm like, girl, stop. Y'all knocked Boost one time. Y'all hung out a couple of times and you crying and sobbing like you lost the greatest love of your goddamn life. I'm like, poor Damien. I can't believe this. I'm like, girl, stop, stop. Like, why are you doing this for? Oh yeah, where's my music at? I done said this like five goddamn times, and every time I start this, okay. I'm like, you get a bodyguard to sit there and try to place Nick under arrest, but you didn't sit there and think about getting a bodyguard to have with you. Since you feel that somebody's that they're trying to kill you. Like, how does that make sense? And the thing about Audra is that like Nate's family warned Nate about Audra. The only thing that you managed to do was prove them right. And what did Kyle offer Victor if he breaks Claire's heart? Like $5 million or something like that? Yeah, Francis. I mean, yeah, Freddie. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. I talked about that. I briefly talked about that in my stream. And in the stream, Man, in the video today. Susan says when the guard said to Nick for the safety of the others. Yo, seriously, you know what I actually peeped? When he came to the door, Nick was like, "What?" And the guy was like, "Hey, listen, you need to be under house arrest." He looked at that bodyguard. He was like, "Ain't no way in hell this man's sitting there touching me." Nick had that look like you gonna try me, you gonna find the F out the hard way. Billy continues to sit there and be an ungrateful asshole. Um, it's just, and the problem is that Kane is not making himself. He's not making himself look less guilty. I mean, he already can kind of come across as somewhat of a jilted lover. But Lily was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Lily, I was like, girl, you're a little bit too full of yourself." When she was talking to Chance yesterday, she was like, "Oh, Kane killed Damien because of me." I'm like, "Girl, you are not the center of the universe. You have a very overinflated sense of ego." Like, honestly, tell you the truth, you out here in these streets and they're thinking that men are killing each other over you. Now, first of all, I wouldn't kill anyone over a woman, but like, if they are dropping bodies, it's gonna be for Audra. Okay. Like, anybody gonna be sitting there dropping bodies for a woman is gonna be Audra. So you really might want to just like, hmm. Susan said, have they have they had any scenes with the whole cast together in one spot in France? No, nope. Yesterday they had Victor and Nikki that didn't do shit and didn't add anything to the story, and today they were MIA. And Sally was also MIA for like 2 days. So Sally doesn't know what's going on. I'm like, Billy, are you gonna sit there and try to find her and tell her that there's a killer out there on the loose? I mean, he's too busy being an ungrateful ass to Jack. Sit there writing contracts on a paper to Sally to sit there and ease her mind. Like, bro, you know damn well that's not legally binding. Jack needs to call. Oh, Jack needs to call his loan. And listen, yes, yes, because he like you said, he invested in you. He didn't invest. He didn't invest in Sally. I mean, no offense to Sally, but I just. And the sad thing is that he sat there, he was like, I knew you was gonna do this. I knew you were gonna do this. Freddie says Chad do 15 years of being Michael Contos was cool, but Rory now in this role. I love it. His version is still nice, of course, but he's more eager and ruthless when it comes to Drew and Will. Yeah, he's not playing no games. This man is not playing those games. Because you know what he said yesterday? He was like, listen, where has being a nice guy ever gotten? You know? And look at Willow. Willow's now pissed off because she can't sit there and play off of that nice guy persona. She can't do that with him. She can't sit there and manipulate him. So like, so I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Um, and like Portia said, Portia was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to sit there. LaShawn was good. Was good, LaShawn. Willow and Britt Westbourne are second. Oh, they're second cousins. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering what their family connection was. I was wondering what their family connection was. Um, by the way, I'm just very curious. Did anyone watch the podcast on YouTube with Rebecca Budding or whatever, and the dude that plays Leo Stark? Did anyone watch that? I Here's the thing. I feel like they made that podcast. What's good, Ronnie Ron? Um, I felt like they made that podcast because they still need to sit there and promote the soap actors and stuff like that. But they want to be safe about it. They want to be safe about it. And most of these interviews, like that, the networks feel comfortable sending these actors to is Michael Fairman and Alan Locker. You know, James will rarely get an interview from one of the actors. I just feel like we're doing them a favor. Please saw the podcast we had to playing. Okay, so you've been watching. Okay, wait, I'm very curious. Like I said, I feel like it's more of a safety thing. Sean says, I wish SoapNet would come back. SoapNet was, why is it so loud? I rock with SoapNet so happy. Um, I really do. They had their original stuff on. They had their own little talk show. Who wants to be a soap star? Susan says, I wonder if the powers that be wanted this show so they could control the interviews. That's exact. When I sat there and said, yeah, that's exactly what I said. They wanted to be safe. Because here's the thing, they still want to promote these actors, but they want to do it in a way where they can control the type of questions that they ask to make sure that they don't ask anything or say anything that may be taken, out of pocket or out of line or whatever. Right? You remember? Okay, I gotta. You know what, seriously? Maybe I'll play it tomorrow if I can find it. Remember that video that Kyrie's has, um, with Michael did the interview with the actress that played Luna, and Kyrie's asked like, it must be an easy job for you to sit there and play this character saying the same lines over and over and over and over again, right? Michael asked that question. It was a super chat, right? But I don't think like the Bold and Beautiful wouldn't have to worry about that if exactly. So the Bold and Beautiful wouldn't have to worry about that if they're on, their podcasts, right? Because I mean, repetitive dialogue over and over again, and she laughed. Right? They both laughed because it was like, yeah, that's what they do on that show. And granted, yes, she cleaned it up by just saying, yeah, we do it for the viewers because it felt like it was more of a inside sort of question, you know, like a membership kind of question being asked. Ryan says, I'm surprised with the hate of some fans that the actress playing Luna wasn't attacked because of her character. Yeah, that's true. I guess some get spared. It's not fair. It's Susan says, right? It's not fair to the other two girls. Um, I just, like I said, Susan, I'm not simply trying to be a gatekeeper and stuff like that. Like if they want to do their own podcast, that's fine. But like, I feel like Like again, Susan, like we're doing them, we're doing them a favor, right? Like if one of the actors wanted to sit there and come on my channel, come on Kyrie's channel, or whatever, we're doing them a favor. We're not getting extra ads or extra incentive or some sort of payoff from the networks. But like, you know, they want to sit there and promote their actors while still being in a more safe safe kind of setting where they could control the you know. Susan says no, I get it, but anyone that pays attention will see through this. I mean, it's like they're, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to sit there and be a gatekeeper and be like, oh, well, I don't think you should be doing, or like they're encroaching on our space, you know? Because in some ways, I feel like they are, you know? Oh, they got a podcast going on. Oh, they got a podcast going on. Like, we've been doing this shit for like years. James has been doing this for like 10 years. Y'all just now, what, jumping on a bandwagon? I like his eagerness. Freddie says when Rory had an interview with Michael and Rory owned words, he said he wanted his version to have more edge and ruthless, and his character was like, I'm here for it. Susan says we shall see what the future holds. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's, it is what it is. But, Ron says, are you feeling the Xander&Gabi storyline because they're nearly? Well, no, actually, I like it. No, I actually like their story because at least he's not with Sarah, who wants to sit there and control him. You know? Yeah, we should definitely see. Have a good night, Sean. It was great to see you. Thank you for joining. Did anyone watch Beyond the Gates? I feel like with B&B, nothing really happened except for there's a a miracle cure for what you call it. Did anyone watch Beyond the Gates though? Was good, Shakira. These would be very powerful, and those those two would be very powerful in the business world. Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't have to necessarily hide their dark impulses from each other. You know, like Sarah loves to control him, be like, "Oh no, don't do this because this is wrong or this is bad," and you don't want to sit there and do it. Remember, my love has changed you. What's good, Shakira? My love has changed you. Gabby would never sit there and say some silly shit like that. Some very controlling shit like that. Some very narcissist shit like that. Metalhead says Sasha has a pretty good accent. Glad they didn't kill her off or put her in a coma like they do to get rid of a lot of characters. Yes. Um, what's good, Cherry Ice Cream? How are you doing tonight? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I was really ready for Sasha to go. If we're gonna be honest. Ever since they put her in that Quartermain house, being this stupid cook, like I just didn't care. And what's good, Dave? I'm just learning about this now. Sophia Massa is leaving. Yep. Yeah. Well, maybe they could. Maybe they could, Ron. Who knows? I'm good, Jerry. I'm good. I survived today, so I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with myself. Very pleased with myself. Trust me, waking up at 3:45 in the morning is not. Waking up at 3:45 is not exactly the easiest thing to do. Caffeine helps. I was happy though. Young and the Restless was actually still on. Like I was still able to sit there and catch it. So I was very happy about that. Yeah, I guess people don't really watch Behind the Gates. Or at least no one here has watched Behind the Gates. Which is not like I can really endorse that show. But alright. And it says go for 2 a.m. Yeah, I know. I can. I mean, I listen. I can do it. Oh, you watched it? Okay. So what you thought of it, Susan? I can do it. It's just. I think if I mean if I'm going to be honest, if I had to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't do a show. Like honestly, tell you the truth, I would probably go to bed around like 7 o'clock. I would go to bed around 7 o'clock. Which I had a hard time sleeping yesterday. It's like I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, I actually woke up early. It's like I couldn't sleep. I, I had to go to the store to sit there and get like some sort of like sleep aid or whatever to help me sleep. But yeah, no, Nicole's on one. Nicole is definitely on one. Like she got my goddamn nerves. Aaron says, it's my choice. I set my own schedule. Oh, okay. Hmm. So what time? Okay, so what? Okay, so when you gotta wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, what time do you sleep? What time do you try to go to sleep? I remember when I used to have to work at I used to have to work at 5 in the morning, and I would go to sleep around like 8:30 at night, 8 o'clock at night. Susan says I didn't know about Martin's story, and Nicole acts so superior. She was acting ungrateful too. She literally sat there and practically called her family disgusting, and was basically sitting there saying, "Oh well, y'all only hided it, you only hid it to sit there and make sure y'all won't like stain the family name." I'm like, girl, listen, I get that you're upset that they chose to sit there and keep you in the dark from what happened to your own son. I get that. I get you being upset with Ted for not telling you this for these years. But to sit there and come at her own mother like that and practically sit there and say that, they're disgusting, I was like, ungrateful piece of And his face when Nicole stormed out. Yeah, I mean, Susan, for a hot minute, Nicole has been getting annoying, right? Like when Ted was like, get off your high horse, princess. I'm like, right then and there. Irina says it depends on when my first surgery is and how far the drive is. Most likely 5 or 6. Oh, most likely 5 or 6 p.m. Ooh, it is, but you do have to 5 or 6. I guess it's something you got to get used to because, like I feel like that would just like throw off my whole um yeah, what the hell is Scout? That would just throw off my whole sleeping pattern would just be so off. Oh, I know what you meant. Freddie says Drew so consumed on getting Wiley and Amelia back to Willow, but not concerned on Scout. Well, we don't know that. I mean, he doesn't talk about Scout, but Ron says Phoenix did a video on Trish also. Yes, I saw that video yesterday, Ron. Yes. Ariana says, now you understand why no kids. No, I get that. I get it. I mean, being married and having kids is tough under the best of circumstances. under the best of circumstances, to do all that is tough. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big old softy when it comes towards love, but I respect your decision. No, but I don't think that she's living with Scout anymore. I don't think that she's living with Alexis. I think if you find the right person, you'll find a way to make it work. I do believe that. That's just me. You know, I respect your decision. And that question is for you, Ariana. Ariana says I spend lots of times with my patients, sometimes years. That's a good question, Ron. That's a good question. The next time I see her, I will definitely ask her. And Ariana says, I'm a specialist surgeon. I rebuild the eye and cataract surgery. Oh, that is intense. That's a good question, Susan, because see, part of the problem is that the actress does not come across as believable. But this whole story about how, oh, when I was out there, after I gave birth, I met with the parents and they took her and that was it. They took the baby and that was it. It seems like such a half-assed rush story where it's like she just went out to Chicago, she gave birth, and then she gave it to some people, and then that was it. And you're telling him that he's just supposed to believe that shit? The problem is the way that she tells it. She tells it in a way where you're just not convinced. And unfortunately, I don't know if that's necessarily on the writing. Okay, I don't know if it's the Melissa says soon Gabby kills Xander. He doesn't want her because he's still in love with his wife. Tony and Gabby will team up to get back the company, and she will use Xander and Philip. Gabby and Philip will be a couple. What's good, Melissa? What's good, Jonathan? I mean, I do feel like she is inserting herself in a situation where it just comes across like, girl, you are definitely doing too much. You are definitely doing too much. I don't know. I'm finding it very difficult to sit and get past those scenes because, well, the actress is not really good. But like when the mom, the thing is when Amy finds out, she is going to be fucking livid. The thing is, I do think that Holly and Ari are going to come back next week because Doug is leaving town. And I don't think that Doug would leave town without knowing that Ari and Holly are safe. But he's definitely going to get an earful. So I do think, yes, I did. Yes, I did, Jonathan. I was just in there talking about that. Doug is leaving town. Doug is leaving town. So Doug's leaving town. His character seemed like it was a buzz. Um, I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, if you really think about it, what was even Doug's point on the show? I feel like this is another mishandled character. Like Everett was a mishandled character. Um, What is her name? Jada's sister was a mishandled character. Joy was a mishandled character. They came in for like maybe about a couple of months before, they days one of sending them packing. They seem like they have a pattern of mishandling these characters, having them come in there, either write them in a corner, and then like nothing really comes from it. Like, what was the point of Doug act again? What was the point of Doug being there? Susan says, I was so glad when Tate yelled to Ray, get him. Doug was standing there. Yeah, okay, so you know what I did like? When Doug got the money, Doug was like, okay, cool, you can leave now. Like he's gonna be in here in a few minutes. And Tate was like, no, 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 no. I'm staying right here. I'm making sure you don't screw this up. It's just like, bro, when you got Tate Blacksmith there making you look stupid, calling you out, that's a problem right there. Freddie says, Albert, Lulu really thought she'd done the right thing to expose Brooklyn's secret with Brooklyn information was sealed and committed a crime with all Brooklyn did. She pulled up Rocco's original birth certificate. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's bad. That's I'm I always find it interesting when people sit there and say Team Brooklyn or Team Lulu. I see merit in both of them. They listen. They both fuck each other over. If we're gonna be honest, yes. Brooklyn. Here's the thing. Brooklyn messed up as well. If we're gonna be honest. So Johnson says so far I haven't found any article saying that it's actually in the show. Yeah, I get that, Jonathan. But you remember Everett? Like you didn't find anything on Everett, and that dude was leaving the show. Just like. Oh, okay. Now I'll go back to your comment. Hmm. I'm just saying, like Everett, you didn't find anything on Everett. And that was another character that got with you. Yeah, she committed a crime. But see, the thing is, Freddie, while all she did was pull out medical records on Rocco, and it wasn't illegal, she still messed up. Like, here's the thing: Brooklyn said that ideally she wanted to get back at Rocco by leaving the papers in a place where Rocco can find it. And Rocco did find it because of Danny. She left those deception papers with the birth certificate and everything like that in the living room. where anyone, including them, found them. So, well, yeah, why she did that by accident, that was always her original intent. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just me, but like, this is the reason why I can't, even so it was still public records, everyone knows about it. Everyone knew about it except for them. I get what you're saying, Freddie, but I feel like in some sort of way, it's still, it's kind of, it's kind of downplaying. Like at the end of the day, it was a careless thing, and Rocco got hurt because of it. Yes, it was public record. Yes, everyone knew it wasn't the same situation like what Lulu did, right? But at the end of the day, her carelessness wound up hurting Rocco. And again, that was her original plan. She did it by accident, but she still did it. Just like Lulu, if we really sit there and think about it, yes, Lulu wanted Dante to know, but she didn't do it in a way where it's like it. It wasn't meant. Like she didn't know that Gio was standing behind the door when she questioned um, Lois. Just like Brooklyn did it by accident with didn't know that she left the papers there and Rocco was going to find out. So in reality, they both did exactly the same thing. It was an accident on both of their parts. The difference is that Brooklyn actually feels bad for what she did, while Lulu doesn't. But the wrongs that they did are nearly exactly the same. Yeah, exactly. Accident or not, it still happened. Same thing with Lulu. If you want to say if you go there, Lulu didn't want. Lulu didn't plan on dropping that bomb on Gio like that. She confronted Lois. She had no idea that Gio was there. So my point is that both of what they did was accidents. The details are slightly altered, but at the end of the day, they expose each other's secrets in an accidental way. And again, this is why I don't. This is exactly why I don't do teams, because if I was sitting there saying I was Team Lulu, if I was Team Lulu, then I would have to sit there and downplay everything that Lulu did. If I was Team Brooklyn, I would have to sit there and try to be like, well, technically the details look like at the end of the day, they both screwed up. They both screwed up. Both of them did. This is exactly the reason why I don't do teams. Um, Alex, I will choose Joy any day. And again, Joy was another person that they mishandled. Joy was another person that they mishandled. Joy is running around with Alex's baby. He doesn't even know that because they didn't know what the hell to do with the character. If you bring the character in, I don't. Jonathan, what was Jada's sister's name? Ariana said, "I don't like how Lulu blackmailed BOQ for a while." Yeah, they're both trashy characters. They were doing trashy ass shit. Both of them. Susan says, "Hopefully, Joy will be back with her baby." Yeah, I mean they need to sit there and find a way to do something with that story. It's like starting. It's like stopping it on a continue. Like when they had the shows like to be continued, and then he just like maybe they'll get back to it at some point. Like, again, Joy.
Joy's whole story was just messy, and it was just I felt like she was only there to temporarily cause problems with Johnny and Chanel. That's all she was there for. And then after the whole body and soul thing wrapped up, it's like they felt like they didn't have any more use for her. But they could have gave her more stories. She was pregnant with Alex's child. Like, you sitting there telling me that you didn't have anything else for her to do? Aaron says BOQ didn't blackmail Lulu. She didn't follow through. She didn't follow through. No, she didn't follow through, but she kind of did, though. I mean, she followed through in the fact that, like, yes, she didn't go out to sit. She changed her mind about getting revenge by doing something to Rocco, but she still did do something to Rocco. You know, she left those files there openly for anyone to sit there and find them. Yes, it was an accident, but she still did it. Joy could pair with JJ if she returns. Yeah, it's not like I mean, it's not like JJ's actually doing anything. And clearly Gabby's not going to get back together with her. But I don't know. Like I said, that's just my take. I always find it interesting. That's always the thing I try to say in the beginning of my videos. Like, bro, I'm like, I don't do teams. I do not do teams. And I think I've always sat there and tried to look at things from different people's points of view. Now, Freddie says, Albert, at least BLQ felt sorry for what she did to Rocco, unlike Lulu about the Geo situation. Yes, yeah. Again, yes, I get it. There are the details are different, right? Um, yes, Lulu didn't. Lulu didn't feel sorry for what she did. Days is okay. Chica, it wasn't super great. You could just watch my review and you'd be caught up. To be honest, it wasn't terrible though. Like if you're bored, I'm like, hey, take a look. But it was nothing. I was like, yo, you gotta sit there and watch. 1 second, Jonathan. Yes, the details are different, right? And yes, again, it was public record for Rocco as far as how he was brought into this world. But at the end of the day, they still did the same things to each other. They just went about it in different ways. Brooklyn didn't intend to hurt Rocco, but she did. Lulu didn't intend to hurt Gio, but she did. They both did things by accident. Lulu did not intentionally try to flat out tell Gio about, who his mother was, and Brooklyn did not intend on telling Rocco about how he was birthed. Okay, but they still did it. That's what I'm saying. They're saying it's like people, yes, the details are different, and because of that, it makes it more easier for people to sit there and side with one person over the other. But the details is only half of the issue. The results are still the same, and the when that's what it really comes down to. They both did trifling things to each other. It's just, you know, the fact that Lulu didn't apologize and act like she didn't do anything wrong definitely rubs people off the wrong way, and I can see why people are siding with Brooklyn, but I can't fully side with Brooklyn either. It's the reasons and the motivation. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Exactly. And like I said, the details with some people is what matters. And again, like I said, that's why they're siding with one person over the other. I personally can't do that because I feel like they both, at the end of the day, they're both trifling to each other. They just went about it in different ways. But Johnson says, "What do you think of Nicole's reaction to her parents keeping Martin's secret?" Oh, it was it. She annoyed the shit out of me because she came across as very ungrateful. She came across as hella ungrateful. I'm pretty sure she sat there and said that they were disgusting in a sense. Like, wow, like that's really how you feel? That's why Anita was like, you didn't grow with the hardships that we did to make the difficult choices. This is exactly what Ted said. Ted was like, yo, listen, not everyone's gonna sit there and Ariana says she got the information but didn't use it. Lulu got the information and egregiously pushed. I'm not on the other side. Actually, they are writing Lulu and Amelia. Yeah, but yeah, and like I said, yes. But again, Ariana is not on the other side. She's not team one or team the other. There are differences. But again, the difference is it's going to make a difference if you are siding with one person over the other. So I get it. Tracy says the storyline with Brooklyn and Lulu was kind of up and down. Do you think Tracy was setting the stage for there to be more drama with Brooklyn? No, I think she's actually spent there trying to stop it, you know, because she loves them both. And again, she sees that the way that they have played tit for tat, the details and everything, there are differences for both wrong. Exactly. And exactly area. And that's why I'm like, I can't do team because there's flaws in both of them. And I can't ignore that. Shakira says, why not might as well call Gilligan's Island. They stuck in a maze going on 4 weeks now. I didn't realize it was 4 weeks. I didn't realize it was a couple weeks now, but yeah, it makes sense though. I don't know. Shakira, I'm not I can appreciate that they're doing something different. Maybe they're taking kind of a long ass way, maybe they're taking too long to go about it, but I can appreciate them trying something different, Shakira. Yeah, Chase is another person that's just been annoying me. Ariana says they are way too old to keep this mess going. Yeah, both of them. Both of them are way too old. But okay, this is what I will sit there and say. The reason why Lulu has a harder time as far as letting go of this grudge than Brooklyn, because Brooklyn, her life is in a better place. Lulu is still something there struggling with getting to know her family. Um, she doesn't have the love of her life. Brooklyn is married. Even before the whole Geo thing, she couldn't let it go. She couldn't let it go because no, seriously, Jack, she couldn't let it go because Brooklyn was in a better position. She had a husband. She had a good relationship with her grandmother. She was working. Lulu didn't have anything when she woke up, right? Dante was still grieving over Sam. So like, and even now she can't let this go. Brooklyn will eventually, well, after they finish playing tit for tat, I think Brooklyn will eventually move on. Yeah, I mean it's part of that, but the thing is, Ariana, here's the thing: it's easier to let go of a grudge when your life is in a better place, when you're happy where your life is at. Brooklyn, for the most part, is happy where her life is at. So let's say that Brooklyn reconnects with Gio. She's not gonna feel inclined to still sit there and have that um have that pettiness back and forth with Lulu. But Lulu will still sit there and carry that grudge because she don't have anything else going for her. Lulu don't got no man. Yeah, she's working for the Poor Show's banner and stuff like that. I guess she got her kids, but like she's not in the same happy place that Brooklyn is at. As long as you're still in that same sunken place, Lulu woke up disoriented and angry. Yes. Jonathan, did you see that smile that Willow gave when she found out that Michael was losing Daisy? Yes, Freddie. And like I said, when you're in a sunken place like that, it's harder to let go of grudge. That's the truth. Um, well, we saw her today, Shakira. We saw her in the airport. So maybe we'll see more scenes of her next week. But yeah, we saw her in today's episode. Yes, that was her plan all along. Yeah, because if you think about it, Jonathan, she never wanted to sit there and kidnap the baby. She could have kidnapped the baby at any point in time. That was her plan. So she will eventually. Uh, Ariana says, so Ariana says Leslie knows something is wrong. Oh, okay. I need to do that. Leslie knows something's wrong with Willow. Oh, Liesel knows something's wrong with Willow if anyone can squash Drew. And Willow is Liesel. She knows exactly what she's doing. Yes. Like I said, when Liesel slammed the door and was like, "Yo, your daughter ain't right. Like there's something wrong with your daughter," and she peeped it. And of course, listen, she asked her a simple question. She was like, "Why did you lose your kids?" The judge told her all the reasons why she lost the kids. And then she starts acting like, no, well, this is all Michael's fault. He's changed. He's vengeful. He's spiteful. He did this to me. Like, what? Girl, that's the exact same shit that Nat was saying. I I feel like some people I feel like some people are gonna be disappointed that she's not coming back to be she's not coming back to be she doesn't come back to be Brit. And somebody said this yesterday. It was like, with the whole Huntington disease. And they said this in Dion's chat as well. Oh, it could just be a misdiagnosis. Just a misdiagnosis. I mean, listen, I sat through B&B today, and they just cured a goddamn brain tumor, right? Just America cure out of nowhere, right? Yep, Jonathan. Yes, she has, and I am so okay with it. But I mean, but the thing is, Jonathan, we knew that was coming up. Like we said that like a couple of days. I mean, they made it official, but like we already know. Just like just like we just like we knew with Saved by the Bell. Ariana says, "I hope she's not bred new blood. Bred or not bred, I'm glad. No spoilers yet on who she will be." Yeah. Have a good night, Freddie. Thank you for joining. Good to see you again and stay safe. I don't see how she could be bred. Saved by the Bell, not Saved by the Bill. Oh, it took me a second. Yeah, Saved by the Bill and his money. But you know what? At least I didn't have to sit there and hear Steppy and Bill go at Bill, telling him, "Oh, well, you're not allowed to see your son, and you're the person that put him in this hospital, and da 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 this, da 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 da." At least today they were grateful and actually said that they were grateful. So I was happy about that. Katie, Will, and Electra still don't know about Liam's condition, and I don't even know what to sit there and say about Ridge, Brooke, Brooke, and Taylor. Well, at least Jack Maroney is actually coming to. I don't know, Shakira. I haven't seen her in a while. Irina says, "I love the experimental surgery. I love the experimental brain surgery." Shakira, I see her a lot in Kyrie's stream. So, if you're looking for her, she'll probably be over there. Susan says, "Oh my God, Stephanie, I hope we're getting crazy at yo." They were pissing me off so much it actually made me want to sit there and do a review on it. Actually made me want to do a review on the episode. Like if I had the fucking time, I would have reamed both of those two chicks out for just how out of pocket they were sitting there acting, talking about how their father can't even sit there and see his own son. Like, who the f are you? Oh yeah, and they were the only two. Um, Ridge was acting like his usual pompous ass. Taylor and her little smart remarks or whatever. But Ridge was also pissing me off because Ridge on any given day, he just, but he seemed like he was being extra acid. He really was. So, but I do wonder what's going on with Grace Buckingham. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. There was a point I didn't like her when she was coming at Carter sideways, but I am curious to sit there and see what's going on with them. Still no Paris. Still no Paris. Still no Thomas. No Paris. No Thomas. No wedding. No RJ. I think he talked about RJ like maybe like a couple weeks ago, and I think it was like only one day, a brief sentence, and apparently that was enough. Do you think of Jack Maroney so far? I mean, he's a just well. I mean, I don't really like his character, but I don't hate his character either. I just feel like he's a better option than Brooke. He's a better option than Rich, and I just feel like he's just going to be a casualty. You know, Brooke actually is is will get treated with respect and the love and the kindness that she deserves to be treated with Jack. But you know, her dumbass will still sit there and decide to be with what you call it. Tracy says, "Do you think Portia will cheat with the doctor?" What do you mean? You mean cheat with the doctor? Oh, Isaiah. That's a good question. I mean, I think right now I think she's gonna sit there and turn herself in. So I think if things go sideways with her relationship, and Curtis continues to sit there and treat her like an asshole, then yes. But as of right now, no. Susan says no anesthesia. And Esther Bill and Esther environment with street clothes, just nature. Johnson says that's right. Better choice with Brooke than flip flop. But see, the thing is though, Jonathan, how often have you known Brooke to sit there and make the right decision? That's the fucking problem, though, right? Because I'm not a huge fan of Brooke, but I do believe that she deserves love, kindness, and respect, just like any other woman. And she doesn't get that with Ridge. She gets that with Ridge until she does something that Ridge doesn't like, and she deserves better than that. And clearly, she's I don't know if she's just conditioned after so many years that they're settling for Ridge, but it's not just frustrating; it's also pretty sad. Dude is literally sitting there going out there with her. Oh yeah, I gotta sit there and go for some work and this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, you know your ass is only going out there for her. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not start playing those games. You're going out there for her. Whether you just sit there and say, yeah, I'm going out there for some business meetings and work and everything. Like, you going out there to work my ass. Johnson says hopefully Nick will make Brooke come to her senses. I would hope so. I would hope so. It's crazy. Yeah, no, Nicole's on one. Um, Susan says Reg makes me nauseous. He just, you know, the sad thing is, Susan, he doesn't even want to really marry Taylor. He's only picking Taylor as a constellation prize. He's only spent there marrying her as a way to sit there and kind of push himself like, well, if I get married, it's out of my control and I do love her, whatever. So, it's like he's subconsciously trying to trick himself into thinking that that's the right choice. But he knows he wants to sit there and be with, um, he knows he wants to sit there and be back with Brooke. And, you know, maybe with Brooke, it's easier to be with Brooke for Reg because Reg can sit there and be an asshole, and Brooke will still sit there and take him back. Taylor will sit there and have more common sense and be like, nah, I'm not messing with that. I'd rather just go around the world, globetrotting, helping people. But Brooke will sit there and just take it for the most part because Brooke doesn't have self respect. That's the sad thing. And I'm not even sitting there being funny about it. She just doesn't have any self respect. She doesn't value herself. Like, come on, bro. When's the last time you sat there and looked in the mirror and was actually happy with any of the decisions that you've been making? Pining over a man? Like what? Who rushed to Taylor the first moment, thought the worst of you? Seriously, that's the truth of the matter. That is definitely the truth of the matter. But eyes are getting heavy. I think it's time for me to actually go to bed because I do got to wake up early in the morning. I do want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. This was hella fun. Susan says it feels more like a competition between Brooke and Taylor than true love. Yeah, and let's not act like Rich didn't sit there and set this up in some way. It's just pretty sad though. Ooh, now Jonathan says Ridge insult to hope you would think that would give Brooke reason to turn her back. Yeah, that shit is never getting past me, Jonathan. Ever. Yes, happy night, Jonathan. Happy night, Susan. Happy night, cherry ice cream. Ariana says, "Can I gonna try to get here tomorrow night?" Yes, I look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, you can come through tomorrow night. Definitely come through this weekend. We're gonna have some fun. Definitely gonna have some fun. It's like Rich is hosting a game show called "Who Loves Me More." Who loves me more? The thing is, Jonathan Smith there, like, is using a clever way on words, but he's not entirely wrong. So, yes, have a good night, Cherry Ice Cream. Have a good night, Melissa. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Queen Janet. Yeah, my boy's right about that. Johnson says, join us next time for another edition of Soap Chat with Dr. Bostic. Thank you. Make sure you hit that like button. Share the videos if you can, because that's been helping grow the channel. Running this channel with y'all, so I appreciate that. Johnson says, "Can I hit the like button?" Yes, hit that like button. And my members, I will see you tomorrow. If you're not a member, click on any one of my videos. In the description box, you will sit there and see a link. You just click that link and you become a member. We have a lot of fun. I enjoy coming up with different things for the membership live streams. And thank you, Cherry Ace, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you were here. Laters.